We're seeing a large distribution of fentanyl in this area because fentanyl is not like marijuana or cocaine. It's not seasonal. All these guys, or these men and women, have to do is order it up. Someone will make it in their factory and then deliver it to the area, and from there they can distribute it to our streets. Now I want to also thank Mr. Watson for the cash, because once we get that cleared through our city, we'll be able to take his cash that we receive from him and put it to good use instead of what he was using it for illegal gain. So let me end with this. The last time the drug dealers didn't hear us, so I'm going to tell you one more time. The people in St. Petersburg and Pinellas County will not stand for you destroying our community. They will report you to law enforcement, and we will do everything in our power to end your operation. Hopefully, the next time you see a press conference, you won't see your picture, your name, or your money on display. So with that, I'd like to turn over to Commissioner Mr. Pollard. Mr. Pollard.
Thank you, Chief. Good morning. My name is FDLE Deputy Commissioner Vaden Pollard, and I'm honored to stand alongside Chief Holloway and our team of law enforcement professionals to announce this important information relating to a very large drug bust. This case is a testament to our partnerships in law enforcement and also to the SAFE funding that we receive. SAFE stands for State Assistance for Fentanyl Eradication. It was through this grant program that's facilitated by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement and also championed by our legislature and also Governor DeSantis. The reason why we have these results today is because of this program. The immense work in this operation was successful in taking more than 10 kilos of fentanyl and other drugs off of our streets in St. Petersburg. This is a reminder about the importance of partnerships and support, not just between our agencies, but also from the top down, from our legislature as well as Governor DeSantis, working together to get us the assistance we need to combat fentanyl distribution in Florida. Their dedication and support is evidenced by the continued funding of the SAFE program in this upcoming budget year. This amount of fentanyl has the capability of destroying hundreds of thousands of lives. But by working together, we keep our communities safer, we keep our families safe against drug trafficking organizations and the violence and the secondary crimes that they affect our communities with. The SAFE program provides us the resources that we need to prevent this. It does a lot and it does more. The proof of the success of that program you're seeing right here today. In Florida, keeping our communities and families safe is our #1 priority. And this case is a good example of the tireless and very dangerous work that our law enforcement officers do out there every day to keep us safe. Now, I would like to close by commending Chief Holloway, his officers here at St. Petersburg Police Department. There's great police work being done all over Florida. His agency and what they've accomplished in this case is immense. They've saved, I'll commit that they've saved thousands of lives. You guys do great work out there every day. So for the citizens of St. Petersburg, if you see or if you pass one of your law enforcement officers, make sure you tell them thank you. And that's all I have. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, sir, for that. And I'm going to go back now to, again, the address at 29, make sure I give you the correct address here, 3101 29th Street North. At that warehouse, you'll see in the photos over there, you'll see they had a money counting machine. They were making so much money, they had to have a machine in there so they can count all the money that they were making. We've got 2 subjects now in custody. We're looking for the third, so as you look at that board, people that are out there, please let us know where he is. We would love to introduce him to our county jail. So with that, I'll open up for any questions.
Chief, why don't you name it Operation Cookie Dough?
So that's a great question. I always have to ask my detective when they come up with these names, because if you look at the fentanyl in one picture, it looks like cookie dough, the brown part of it, when they're making it up. So hence the Operation Cookie Dough.
And what can you tell us about the second location, the apartment? Was that where they were living, or was that also a stash house?
So that's a great question. So they had the warehouse, and then they had several stash houses. So that second address we went to, that was a stash house. And then there was other places. We served 5 search warrants that day. And again, remember 3 weeks ago, we served 20, we were just talking about. So in the past month, we executed more than 25 search warrants. Back in the 80s, we did 25 a year. The departments are doing it now with our partnership. There is so much fentanyl that's coming into, I'm going to say this area because I can't speak for the state of Florida. Commission can speak on that. There's just so much. If you think about it, 3 weeks ago we took down a group, and now we're taking down another group. And like I said earlier, there's not a season for this. All you got to do is say, hey, tomorrow I need 3 more kilos, and someone's going to be in a lab making that up. We got to focus on distributors, and that's what we're doing. You're not seeing any street level people here, folks. You're seeing the people that are supplying it to our community. We can put all the money that we can at the end of it, and we're doing a good job at that, but we got to start putting more money at the front end. We've got to take these people off the street. They are destroying our community. And like you said earlier, 10 kilos of fentanyl. Remember 3 weeks ago, we had 6. And that was someone else. We've got to do something, and law enforcement is doing it, the community's doing it, but we just got to continue to put more funding toward this. We got to tell everybody, not here in the state of Florida.
We do hear that the cartels bring a lot of fentanyl across the border, but is it also equally as much being manufactured right here?
Yeah, and that's a great question. I spoke to one of our DEA partners. I'm not going to say some of it's coming across the borders, but if you got a lab here, some is coming from California, Texas, anywhere. It could be a lab right here in Florida. We don't know yet, but it's just being made here.
Chief, this was a 9-month-long investigation. Can you share how it started? Was it a tip? And then what's been going on for all these months? Surveillance, or can you spell that out for us?
Sure, so thank you very much. I want to give credit to the men and women that have been working on this. So we got a tip, remember I told you earlier, from a citizen. A citizen saw what was going on. They reported it. They talked about it. And then our vice and narcotic people went to work. They started doing everything they had in their power, and they were able to, through the grant, they were able to do a lot of things, and through the state attorney's office, Mr. Bruce Barton's office, write search warrant. So they had to follow these people, track all these people, so it took a lot of time. I want to give my team credit because we could put up 30 or 40 pictures of all the people, street level people that we could take down. They went right to the top. Because taking down Billy Bob on the street corner that's selling a gram is not going to solve the problem. They went there, Watson, and took off 10 keys.
If you said it's the biggest in 20 years, can you compare it to past ones? Like, how much bigger is it, and do you think it's going to make a dent?
I think I'll make a dent today, but someone else is going to think they're going to fill this void, and hopefully people call in, and we'll be right here in a couple of weeks making another announcement. We made another arrest. The only thing I can compare it to, like I said, when we had the crack epidemic in the late 80s, early 90s, we weren't getting this much. I mean, you were happy, hey, I got a kilo deal. These detectives are buying kilos a day.
Through the 9-month investigation, was kind of the impression that this trio felt untouchable because they were so high up the chain? Were they arrogant in their approach?
The best way I can explain it to you, the way my detective explained it to me, imagine going to a place, I'm not going to name a store, where a distribution where that's where it's being held and suppliers are coming there. Yeah, they're bold because they go there and like, okay, you know, I need 2 kilos of cocaine, I need a kilo of fentanyl, and I need this today. And they pick it up from the warehouse, and then they go down, and it goes down further and further into the chain. So yeah, it is big. For you to have a distribution center in St. Pete, think about that. That's a lot at the warehouse. Just imagine if we hit it earlier when who knows what the stocking amount could have been? Maybe 20 kilos. Maybe they just re-upped. We don't know, but that's a lot of dope to have in one place at one time.
Do you know how long they were operating out of that warehouse?
Well, during a 7-month investigation we started, we were able to find that location, so I would say within that period of 7 months.
How wide did their distribution go? I mean, was this just in Pinellas, Hillsborough, and all that, or did this reach further in the state or even out of the state?
Here's the sad part, and that's a great question. This distribution center only worked in St. Pete. So let's think about that. 10 kilos, let me phrase it, Pinellas County. 10 kilos of fentanyl for Pinellas County.
Is the state attorney able to track some of the overdose deaths back to this distribution in terms of responsibility?
I think you're going to have to We work on that, but I'm not gonna say what Mr. Bartlett's office is doing. We look at the cases to see how they're working out, but like I said, that's a great question. We know there are overdoses here, we know there's fentanyl death here, and our state attorney's office is doing a great job, but I can't tell you, was that drug dealer sold to that person?
Just, we know
One more
how,
question, and then we're gonna.
just how little bit of fentanyl can kill, and just talk about the amount of that little bit inside 10 kilos just here locally in Pinellas County. Just, I mean, that sounds like I would almost say enough for every person in the county to die.
Well, you hear a lot about fentanyl. You know, most people will tell you that if you look at a sugar packet, if I was to throw it in this room right now, it could kill everybody in this room. So imagine how much a sugar packet is in there, say a gram or half a gram, and we're talking 10 kilos.